Welcome. This is the seventh interview I've done, and yeah, this is with Riv and Lex. You can't hear anything from me, but this time I actually got the audio to work on the other side, so there are no errors. But if you're wondering what questions I am asking, you will be able to see what times the questions are asked down below. Um, I hope you enjoy the video, and please subscribe to his channel, which will also be linked down below. Yeah. I hope you enjoy the video and leave a like, and if you want, subscribe. I'm at 200 now, and yeah, I really hope you enjoy the video, and I'll make one tomorrow or the day after. See you all later.
I actually found out about the furry fandom a long time ago through some television shows here in the US. They didn't make it out in a very positive light, so I wasn't really interested back then. And then I discovered the fandom, the positive side of it that made me want to join the fandom about a few years ago on YouTube, actually. I did not see the CSI episode, but I did. There was a show in the US called My Strange Addiction. I think it was that show that kind of showed it as a really weird hobby. It didn't show it like the CSI episode did. It wasn't that bad, but it just made furries out to be really weird people. When I first saw, there was a couple of different TV shows similar to that I saw that depicted furries as just being very strange. You know, people that just wore these costumes and hung out on street corners waving to cars or something. I just didn't quite understand it at first. And then when I started, for some reason, I can't remember why, I started doing some more research on it and looking up furry stuff on YouTube. And then my opinion of it immediately changed. And it was like, oh, wow, I want to be involved in this. The only person who's a non furry who knows that I am is my sister. She didn't really understand what it was. She was kind of like, you're a what? I actually told her that I was going to an anthropomorphic art convention. And I kind of explained it to her and said, hey, let me tell you about it. Don't go researching it on your own. You might find some bad information. And we talked about it quite a bit, and she's fully supportive. Other than that, none of my non furry friends know about it. Most of my social life revolves around the fandom now. So I identify as a straight male. I am slightly on the asexual spectrum, meaning that I don't have a very strong sex drive, but I am definitely attracted to certain women, and they're typically not attracted back to me. So the asexual thing is not a bad thing. When I first started seeing furry videos on YouTube, I think Majira was probably the first channel that I watched a lot. Sparky, Picari. It just immediately struck me as this is amazing. I need to be involved in this. This looks like so much fun. It looks like a way for me to get out and have a social life again, which I hadn't had for a number of years. I was so focused on my job, I just had no social life whatsoever, and this was a way for me to get back into socialization and human contact, albeit human contact through animal characters. Well, I have two of them. Both of them are my original species, which is Varin, which is a Vherin. It's a species I'm creating. They're mostly canine in appearance, but they have their own world that I'm building and everything. The first one's name is Rivan, or Riv for short, and then my other character is Lerks, which is the suit I'm wearing right now. Very little, actually. I was surprised when I started my YouTube channel that I don't get more hateful comments. I've just gotten a few of the typical troll comments, you're gay, you're whatever, and some jerk with a YouTube name of Adolf Hitler or some nonsense like that. And yeah, I just block them and move on. I really have gotten surprisingly little hate. I've had a couple people at cons who were not involved with the con who I've overheard saying some pretty nasty stuff about us, but for the most part, it's been very positive, and I've been pleasantly surprised by the lack of hate that I've run into. No, definitely not. My sister said that she's not interested in becoming one, but if she was to make a character, it would be a crow or a raven. So, maybe there's some hope for her. This one here is kind of a Frankenstein. The head is brand new. I just got this about a month ago and debuted it at Texas Furry Fiesta. This was made by Kaiju Costumes, and this replaced an old head that was made by uh, an unknown artist, and then the rest of the suit is made by Grey Realm Studio. And my other suit, Riv, is made by Sparky Can Do. Yep. I would say looking back now, I realize that I've probably always been a furry. I've always really loved anthropomorphic characters and art and stuff. But in terms of being actively involved in the fandom, I would say 3 years. I'm not really super active in any other fandoms. I do like Star Trek and Star Wars, but I haven't been to any conventions. I don't own any costumes or anything like that. I'm not really big into like the comic fandom or anime. Definitely not a brony, but I would say, yeah, Star Wars and Star Trek kind of on the fringes, but not hugely into those. This is pretty much it. I tend to look up to furries that have other talents, besides just, hey, look at me, I have a fursuit. Artists like Sylvixen and Opia Day, musicians like Foxes and Peppers and Omnom, YouTube personalities who really bring a positive vibe to the fandom, like Ace of Hearts Fox and Stormy Falth. I never interacted much with Dog Bomb before his health issues came to light, but he sounds like a person that I would have really looked up to.